So it's the Bluetooth connection.
It's actually the internet connection to establish the stream.
Yeah.
And I may have to, walk with my tail between my legs again. If this doesn't work in like 2-3 minutes, we'll cut it. I did have a little bit of a longer delay than what I thought the last time I did the demo. But this is the excuse I'm going to use, that this application has changed since Friday when I last did the demo. It looks like Neil has continued to do some work. We had a meeting, so of course this isn't the form factor that we expect everyone to actually use this technology that we're developing it in. We're trying to make it easy that you can actually attach it to our drone and not have like this whole mess of wires laid up on a table to just prove it out in a demo.
Right.
And so he's doing a lot of work on the software end to make that possible, that while we're also trying to do demos with it, there's changes that aren't being accounted for, when I get to present it.
Once the video stream doesn't go through, we can still show
everything, right? So let's go ahead and start setting that up. So I'm going to go ahead, connect to the drone here, connect. And now if you want to go ahead and plug in the headset.
So I'm probably going to put a switch on this in the future, but for now I'm going to have to manually plug in the battery. And now, yep, I can see the lights. Okay, it should be active. So,
So if you turn that thing, you would see the camera move.
But once again, it's through Bluetooth, yes.
All right. And I'm just resetting the video, so hopefully that will reset. But now I'm going to go back to Bluetooth, hit testing. Jim, go ahead and hold that up. Like you can just hold it in front of your chest.
Okay.
That way you don't have to miss seeing it. All right, and I think that should hopefully be visible.
I think you might have misclicked.
No, and now go ahead and start rotating.
There we go.
There we go.
So again, unfortunately, we're not actively showing off the video feed, but basically we could have that video.
Do you see me in the video feed?
We're not getting the video
Okay.
feed yet on the computer, but as soon as we get the video feed in the computer, then we'll be able to port it out to that headset. And I am realizing to do that. Actually, no, I do have a separate HDMI out that we could use via this adapter. So it looks like we are getting the video feed, or we should be in just a moment. See,
will it show up in
camera.
here as well?
Oh, we will get it to show up in there, absolutely. And start video stream.
That headset doesn't look like it's plugged in.
All right. And yet, we do not have the headset plugged in yet. Coven, if I can just get you to hold this.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this as picture-in-picture. I'm going to open up our software, and then this is more or less what it's actually going to look like when we are ready to deliver these to consumers. Okay, so I can't actually do full screen like that. That's a little disappointing. But that's about what you can expect. So when you're in our drone control application, you have all the ability to control the payloads, including the camera itself with on-screen controls. But of course you want the video that you can move around, make full screen, etc. So Jim, let me get that cable for you set up, and we should be able to port this over to you. This may mess up over there, Brian, so I apologize for that, but. And actually, yeah, hold it right there.
So is the video feed going to the computer or directly from the camera?
It's gonna go from the computer. We are running low on battery for that. I need to get another micro USB cable. It looks like to get that on a charger. And I don't know if we'll have. Is there any screen up?
No, not in the Oculus.
Okay. Perfect. We got video.
This means Jim might have to mount the table.
Oh, okay.
You want to full screen it?
Yeah. So, right, you just see it down in the corner right now,
Yeah.
but we can exit out here and then full screen it.
Oh, nice.
Is it upside down for you?
Nope.
'Cause technically the camera's supposed to be facing the other way.
Looking at myself now.
Yeah, so again, this is a full gimbal camera system that's mountable to Develop Air. We have mounted quite a few of these to Develop Air already, so they've been independently tested. This is just now the second time we've had this all working together, streaming the video over the internet via 4G LTE. We're getting the CE gimbal camera view in this podcast, which is actually pretty sweet that we're going to be able to use this feed from this recording, and now we're getting recordingception from my laptop screen. But this is all pretty high quality video stream. Relatively speaking, the latency isn't too bad. I mean, it's nothing that you're going to want to use for like chasing a car around a racetrack or anything. But as far as like having a delivery drone or some drone on an automated mission that you just want to report into and see what's going on in flight.
Would you mind moving the controller so I can, when I look at you, it's pointed.
That resets it?
Yeah.
I may be able to do that. Let me
All you
see.
got to do is just turn this right here, just spin that, right?
So no, not really, because
Okay. No. Whoa, right there. That's if it's pointed to you, then I'm true. I'm true with it. So if I look this way, yeah. Now I'm going over to Brian.
and I didn't set it up exactly true, but yeah, it's
Cool.
so yeah. This is behind the scenes of the Autonomous Humanity podcast setup, and I'm not saying we're going to do this every podcast episode, but I would like to start using these shows as an opportunity to show off some of our newest developments while they're still in development.
That was really interesting. That was cool.
Did you feel like a little man on the table?
No, I kind of got a little vertigo because I was like, whoa.
And now Coven, who is one of the greatest developers that helped us build this system, he has never tested it out, so let's give him the opportunity. And thank you to everyone that's been a help of pulling this project together.
Crouch.
Coven, Neil, Mon, I think are really the three front runners. And then, of course, Mohit, who's our lead software developer. He's pulling this all together to make it more consumer friendly in our own software. But they're basically the R&D team doing the work just to prove out the concept. And then we all work with Mohit to refine it to make it available to anyone that buys a Developer.
That's really cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
To
Very
finally
cool.
see it actually like
Work, yeah. And again, this is really
That's the very first time that y'all have made that happen?
second time I showed it off for the first time at the last ATVL session that I went up to this past Friday.
You got it to work?
Got it to work, and I mean, again, like you saw, it was like 2 minutes before like the internet connection established once it was like plugged in and everything. So there's obviously some refinement to be done, but we were getting comments, and it was just Brian and I up there, and people get the misconception like I'm this like brainiac genius that like understands how to do all of this, and it's like, not to say I couldn't do all of it independently. It's just like, again, you need a team to make anything worthwhile happen.
Absolutely.
And it's like,
Into the mic.
yeah, beyond just to make something worthwhile happen, it's like Coven doesn't understand everything that goes into this. Mon or Neil doesn't. Like, we all need each other to be able to do this and to be able to achieve something that none of us would be able to do independently. And it's just so funny. Like, even when I'm showing off a Developer, you know, like people will just instantly like, oh, you built that. And it's like, well, how do you define you, right? Because it's like, no, this is a team effort. I wish I was that, you know, capable. But then if I was that capable to do all that myself, I wouldn't have the skill sets to go market it and present it and, you know, sell it. And, you know, there's a lot that goes into all of it that a lot of people like don't appreciate when they say, oh my God, how do you understand all of this? And it's like, Well, I don't. I got a great team that,
For sure.
in different ways, right? Brian very tangibly makes me look good with like the camera, video production.
Talking to that mic and not being on camera.
And not being on camera. Hello. And then of course, people like Coven that go above and beyond with their development efforts to, make us stand out and look good. So
Well, I think you're glazing me a bit too much there, but yeah.
That's very interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this develops, right?
You and me both, yeah.
Because this is just the very beginning of.
And yeah, so we put together a little bit of a demo video yesterday out at the drone park showing off the spotlight and controlling that. So we have that, definitely much more refined than what we just showed off with the camera system. So if I go to the spotlight in our software, we have this bar to tilt it up and down, or when you turn it off, you can also adjust the brightness, or if you could put it in a flash mode. It is being recorded, but yeah, that's probably. I'm recording the screen though as well with that microphone for sync. Fair enough. Will this reach? I think so.
It's a very liberating feeling to see something that you made actually
Working. Yeah. Even better, just imagine like the feeling a guy like Dennis Hayes had, right? Where they built something that worked and then they got it out into the hands of millions of people, and that allowed them to access new information that they otherwise want. Like, that's the real impact of what we're able to do. And again, just trying to get that across more, like it can be a couple of, and not just, it takes a lot more than a couple, and I'm not trying to call you a schmuck, right? But like anyone can do it. It's just like, you're not smarter than any other person. I'm not smarter than any other person. We're not dumb. Like, it's just what we choose to set our time on, right?
Yeah.
And if we all choose to collectively, bring our time together to, make this technology in a way that, anyone can use it, that's an impact that, we can all have together that none of us would be able to have independently.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, in any case, that's just a look at, where we're at. We are kind of pulling all this together as, Dennis Hayes also gave me a good kick in the ass, where we're doing a lot of great work. And I always think about what we can do to make ourselves more undeniable, especially from the investment perspective, show that we can make money with no money, show that we can, really make a lot of development miracles happen without, millions of dollars or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to work with. I know one of our advisors working through Dennis Hayes at that program, he was giving some feedback on an application we're working on, like, how can you do what you're doing for $3,000? You like $3,000 a month, roughly speaking. And it's like, bring enough people together that, are interested in making that happen. The money is not the issue, right? But yeah, all that's to say, we're putting a lot of this together, and of course, not just for investors, but we're really making a push over the next 60 days to raise our seed round that can take all this great technology that we're proving out with Develop Air. Some of our customers are using it on Develop Air more in an educational sort of environment or a developer sort of environment. Again, not the everyday person, but we can take a lot of these concepts that we've already built out, make it more plug and play, easy to use for the everyday person. And that's what really is going to make iView, the company that I want it to be, that hopefully, all of us want it to be. And not to say it's impossible to do without raising some capital, but it will undoubtedly, with where we're at right now and the ability that we already have to be frugal, not just wasting, hundreds of thousands of dollars on needless equipment or salaries or whatever. We figured out how to operate, really efficiently with the way that we've been working so far. So all that's to say, putting together demo videos and making a real big push with Dennis, hey, investors aren't just going to come to you. And that may happen in some cases, but, as undeniable as you are, if you're not going and showing people how undeniable you are, it means nothing, right? And basically just take more shots at goal. Hey, you may not be the right fit for every investor, but if you go take a shot at 100 more investors over the next 60 days, certainly not going to hurt, right?